are kind of the most satisfying when you end the game, or in this case would end the season. That'd be pretty cool.
He's so mature. All right, time for That's Cap with our research producer, Evan Kaplan. Cap, is Drake Maye signaling something for us to watch out for in this Patriots-Broncos matchup?
Yeah, it certainly sounds like it, Laura. And that deep ball matchup when the Patriots have the ball is going to be one of the biggest things that decides the game on Sunday. We're going to step back for a second here and just talk about how great Drake Maye was during the regular season. Led the NFL in completion percentage, 72%. But look at this number here. This is expected completion percentage from NFL Next Gen, takes into account pressure, throw distance, target separation. This number was 62.9%. So look at the difference. Drake Maye completed 9% higher than expected according to Next Gen. This is the highest in any of the 10 seasons that they've been tracking this. Now, what is one of the reasons why he was so efficient overall? It was that deep ball. We're talking about passes 15 plus yards downfield, including the playoffs, 14 touchdowns. Most in the NFL. We saw the one to Kayshon Boutte early in the fourth quarter last week, completing 57% of those throws, and 44 of his 74 completions, 15 plus yards downfield, 3 or fewer yards of separation at the target. So he's not just throwing on air, throwing these balls into tight windows. And he's going to need to do that on Sunday against this Broncos defense, who on these 15-yard throws, allowing 32% completion percentage. That's first in the NFL. And check out this number. Their last 19 attempts the Broncos have faced, 15 or more yards downfield, 0 completions. Josh Allen was 0 for 8 on these throws last week. So RC, as great as Drake Maye has been this season, with Patrick Surtain in this Broncos secondary, I'm saying they're going to be able to limit him downfield, keep it close for Jarrett Stidham in the offense.
Yeah, no
Cap
doubt.
or no
Listen,
cap?
I'm saying cap twice. First of all, it's cap. Let me tell you why it's cap. Let me tell you why. Because you got Patrick Surtain up there, like they gonna be throwing the ball at Patrick Surtain. Right. If you'd have had Riley Moss on that board, then I would have been with you. They not throwing that ball at number 2. It's gonna be Kyle Williams on Riley Moss, or it's gonna be Kayshon Boutte on Riley Moss. Because the one thing that's different about Patrick Surtain and Derek Stingley is that technique-wise, Pat locks in every single play. And I expect Jaquan McMillan to draw Stephon Diggs for much of this game in the slot, because that's where he does a lot of his work. So to me, it's going to be which matchup and what opportunities Drake Maye gets on Riley Moss, because they're expecting at worst an incomplete, at best you get a catch, and if not, maybe you get a pass interference.
Yeah, don't make misses scare you. We were just talking about Seattle and the Rams game, and I said, and we all thought, Matthew's not going to get a ton of shots to push the ball downfield. Drake Maye will. Drake Maye will. Don't worry about if you miss 1 or 2. Keep taking them. It's almost like Houston last week, where they just kept taking their shots down the field. I think he's got to play a little bit like Josh Allen did last week. Play action game was really good. They moved him. They got those crossers. They picked those backers and allowed the running backs. I know, RC, you've talked about Stevenson, Travion Henderson as well, some of those tight end things. And then Drake Maye, when you see man coverage, go. When you see man, I love that he trusts his reads, go. And then the last thing is this. You are going to get 0 in this game. You are going to get all-out pressure in this game at some point. You got to kill it. You can't survive this 0 pressure from Denver's defense. You got to kill it. If you don't, it's going to keep coming. I think if he plays from that mindset the way that Josh did last week, I think he's got a chance to have some relative good success downfield.
Yeah, just copy Josh's success with the quick game. He was like 12 for 14 for 134 yards. And then don't copy the fumbles and the misses downfield, and you can win this game, Drake Maye. The quick game is what I want to mention, though, because that has been a vulnerability of this Broncos defense. When and quarterbacks hold on to the ball for over 2.5 seconds, they're second league-wide in EPA per play, but underneath that, they dropped to 17th. A lot of it is going after the linebackers. The Bills did this. They went after Alex Singleton in coverage a fair amount. I really like the Broncos tight ends here. If you can get, I would say this should be an outsized, or probably Patriots tight ends.
Patriots.
Hooper and Henry. I think that's a matchup you want to take advantage of. And then again, to focus on quick game, Stephon Diggs. You mentioned it. Diggs on McMillan, ball out quick, give him the opportunity to get yards after the catch.
Yeah, some of that, where I'm gonna lead to is a remedy, but Y'all, last week looking at Houston, and I know that's a different animal, it was a lot of pressure on Drake May. It was a lot of times the ball got knocked out of his hand on the backside. I'm concerned about these tackles with Benito and Cooper. Michael Roach is playing out of his mind right now. I know we don't talk about him a lot because Zach is over there, but ultimately this defensive line, man, is going to have opportunities in this game when it's just a 4-man rush. They have to, one, be conscious of Drake's legs as well, but I think they can impact this game in a major way. Vance Joseph, obviously, Dan, to your point, he's going to bring those pressures. He's going to bring zero. But ultimately, this game is going to come down to the phone booth up front with this defensive line. If the Denver Broncos have any shot at getting after the New England Patriots and creating opportunities to take the ball away offensively, it's going to be taking advantage of this offensive line in obvious pass situations when they don't bring an extra rusher. So that's the matchup that I'll be watching as this game go forward. Because remember, it was 3 strip sack fumbles against the Houston Texans. I think Houston only got 1 back. But so the ball bounces differently in different games. That'll be a matchup I'm searching for.
Let's pick this game. I'm a little nervous for all of us here because something happened last week where y'all got dunked on. But look at this. Somebody here saved the day for all of you. Y'all can thank me later. Listen, I don't like to see the team get dunked on like that, so I picked the Broncos. I realized Jarrett Stidham hadn't played in forever, and maybe I did this for the Patriots. I don't know. But either way,
we're not worthy.
There's a path, Lauren. There's a path.
There's a path, right?
Yeah, I feel like if we all would have picked them and they
won, it's not impossible.
Maybe they would have praised us.
Yeah.
Maybe they would have been like, well, look, they learned their lesson.
Yeah.
Nah,
exactly.
they don't say nice things.
Listen, they didn't let me do last week, so I fixed it this week. We got more coming your way here on NFL Live. We're making enough quarterbacks completing only 38% of their passes, down 20% from the regular season. They also have more interceptions and touchdowns in the last 2 games. Certainly we saw what they did against C.J. Stroud. They've been really good. Mina, New England has had a lot of success when sending the blitz this postseason. Do you see this as a problem for Jarrett Stidham on Sunday?
I do. I think it's something he's going to have to face a lot. So going back and watching Jarrett Stidham's tape, both the regular season and the preseason, what struck me, Dan, I know you did the same, we talked about this, was when he's playing, he's an accurate quarterback. He can throw the ball downfield. A lot of the same throws we've seen Bo Nix make. The issue, to me, is when he faces pressure. And the last time he played in the regular season for the Broncos, 5 sacks, did not perform well under pressure, whereas I think Bo Nix's ability to avoid sacks is one of his greatest attributes as a quarterback. He has the 3rd lowest pressure to sack rate in football. So here comes a Patriots defense that has not only been blitzing a lot in the postseason, but I think will want to do so, especially given how good this Broncos offensive line is relative to the ones they face. So I think for Stidham and for Sean Payton, you have to come in with a plan for those blitzes, and he has to play fast because it's when he doesn't that things start to get a little bit shaky.
Yeah, I know we do this job and we get paid and we on the same show together, but Mina just said every single thing that I was going to talk about with defense and Jarrett Stidham.
What she said.
And look, the reality is, it's the obvious. The reality is it's the obvious. A guy that hadn't played in a long time in the AFC Championship, you want to speed up his processing. And you don't only have to do that by blitzing, you do that by disguising, you do that by giving them different coverages and not really being, you don't have to be so intricate. Just speed this game up and